So we got to the final for Britain's strongest man under 120. It was down in Surrey, Volcar gym. This comp was insane. It was awesome. There was a lot of thought put into the events. I was really excited to do the Hummer tire deadlift on the Kratos bar. It just looks insane. It felt really cool. In training, I could not, I don't think I had the right setup. I was as close as I could get. It just wasn't working for me, and the weights were just, I was just struggling to move it at all. So I actually never got any more than 300 in training. This bar started at 300. It was going up in 20 kilo increments. You could jump in and out whenever you wanted, but once you failed a lift, I think twice, that was you out. So because I didn't know what I was capable of doing on this lift, I actually started at 300. I cleared the 300 to make sure I was in the game. I'd done the 300, it went up really easy, really happy with it. It's quite a lot of flex in the Kratos bar at that height. Just felt really good, pulling the slack out of that bar and then just pushing the hips through. So I'd got the 300 and I went on every 20 kilo increment because every one of them was a PB. So I went 300, 320, 340, 360, 380, and then finished on 400 on the Hummer tire deadlift. I'm really happy with that weight. The guys went up to some insane weights on this. I think it finished somewhere over 500, which was crazy. I was also not last on this as well. I was about mid-board, so I was pretty happy with that. The second event, ridiculous medley. It's a 110 kilo slab bag, floor to overhead. Then 140 kilo bag, normal sandbag to shoulder, dump it on the ground, pick it up again, carry it over a yoke. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I got the 110 slab bag, so I didn't have that in training either. I had 100, the closest I had was a 100 kilo bag, which I had managed to press overhead. This slab bag's so weird, it just didn't roll or anything. I missed the first attempt, which took a lot of energy out of me. I got the second attempt pretty good. The 140 bag, I hadn't done that before to shoulder, and I just could not get it that last inch just to sit it on the shoulder and put my arm out. I was absolutely gassed, gave up on that. So I got the first implement, so about a quarter of the way through that event. Event 3, so this was my nemesis, and I'm well and truly over the fear now, although you can see I'm wearing steel toe caps, which was helping. Now this is an interesting farmer's carry. It was 110 per hand in hand, 110 per hand, 10 meters drop, and then self-load. You had to load the weights on yourself, 10 kilo in every corner, which brought up to 130 per hand, back another 10 meters, load it again, and then with 10 kilo per corner again, which brought to 150 per hand, which was crazy. I actually really enjoyed it. Done the 130 a lot faster than I thought. Hadn't done the 150 in training, I don't think, or possibly on its own I did. I got the 150 maybe 2 meters, 3 meters, and that was me out. Grip was gone, but I was actually really happy with how far I got in that, and with half decent speed as well. Event number 4, it's a 140 kilo yoke overhead press. This was so awkward, and I really struggled with this in training, getting it right. I actually was going to sit this event out and not do it because I just didn't feel it was anywhere close to it. Then I decided to stop being a little bitch and just went for it. So in training I'd got to 125, that's as far as I had gotten. But I also knew that I'd been able to press 135 axle overhead before. So it was just the kind of the balance issue going on here. So anyway, I went in and did the event, had an attempt at it. I got so close to locking out that 140. It would have been a massive PB. I just could not finish it. The balance, everything was fine. The pickup went great. It felt really smooth. I actually didn't feel as heavy as I thought it was going to feel, but I just couldn't get the lockout on it. Because of the atmosphere and all the cheering, I did go for a second attempt at it, but it just wasn't to be. But I'm glad that I went for it and didn't pussy out. Event number 5, the sandbag throw. So this was killer. It was an 8-bag run. The first time I'd done this event, so every bag that I threw here was a PB because I'd never done it before. It was a pretty cool event. I actually quite enjoyed it. Didn't gas out, but did run out of steam, run out of explosive power to be able to get it. I got 6 bags out of the 8. They started, I think, something like 20, 22, and went up to 27 kilo by the last one, I think it was. 6 bags out of the 8, not disappointed in that at all, and a lot of experience taken away from it. The last event number 6, and my favourite event, the stones. Different this time. I'd only ever loaded a stone run to a level platform, and this was tiered. And I had been practicing the tiered in the gym, although we didn't have a tiered setup, so it was a case of stacking platforms on top of platforms to try and get the height, and then doing one at a time, resetting the height and going again. I wasn't sure how tacky, I hadn't been doing it with tacky, so I wasn't sure how the tacky was going to affect going really high. So I just went super explosive as I could and ripped my arms off to get that loaded up. And it went better than I thought, although it's just so much more taxing loading to height because you're having to lift those same weights would be fine on a level platform, but because I'm going to much higher at the start, it's going to take a lot more energy. So that 180 to the end felt super heavy. So we went 120, 40, 60, yeah, 120 stone to the highest platform, 140, moving pretty well, feeling pretty good. 140, 60, so 100 to the first platform, 120, 140, 160 loaded fine, 180 felt super heavy, probably the slowest. In fact, it's only the second time that I'd ever loaded this in comp, so not too disappointing. It did feel super heavy and was quite slow. It was one hell of a drive to get that up far enough for that lip. And I was somewhat a little bit away from it as well, but got it right on the lip and completed the event. I took 30th place in this one, which I'm not disappointed at. Yeah, I was at the bottom again, but this is a whole new category, a whole new level of strength. These guys were insane that I was competing with, and I held my own. And I'll definitely be back this year. I'm going into the qualifiers. It is my first comp that I've signed up for this year, so in I think the 1st of March 2025 I'll be competing in the qualifier again for Britain's Strongest Man under 120.